game one.
It's about to happen. Dang, dude, that's a lot of numbers, but it's a mouthful. We got you, don't worry. We are flawless when it comes down to introducing that stuff. You guys are good to go. We're getting ready for our second match. Now, we did have one match earlier, and it was fun, but it's time for the fun to go out the window here as we get ready for Fnatic and Team Liquid.
It's still an interesting series because for Liquid, there's nothing on the line here. They are already, sorry, for Fnatic, there's nothing on the line. They are already qualified. They're in the second spot. They can't move into first.
Yeah.
But for Method and for Team Liquid, there is still a lot to battle through. Right now, when we're taking a look at the standings, we're having Team Liquid actually in the second place. But if you just look at Method, they're currently sitting at,
them.
8 and 6. So it all depends on how Team Liquid plays right now. And the interesting thing about the situation is Liquid, in order to maintain that third spot that we have here, to get the perfect position for the playoffs, they have to win today. Because even if they lose only with them taking 2 maps, it would mean that Method and Liquid are tied by matches, they would be tied by maps, and they would be tied by direct comparison. Because we had in part 1, Method won the series, in part 2, Team Liquid won the series. But because of the number of best of 3s that have been won by both teams, Method...
S3Os, right? It'd be 3Os.
Yeah, what did I say?
Just pure best of 3s that have been won, but it's 3Os.
Oh, yeah,
no more 3Os.
3Os. Yeah. Method would be ahead. So, like, long story short, Liquid has to win to maintain the number 3 spot to have the perfect position for the playoffs. Now, Liquid is in a position where they're, of course, going to pour their heart and soul into this match. Fnatic, on the other hand, there's nothing really, it doesn't matter for them. So in like means or spirit of competition, they're going to make sure that they're going to try here. But they are not going to show strategies that they are already thinking about for later on. So that's not happening. They're still going to try and take down Liquid here to make this a fair competition. But Method is, of course, now in this awkward spot where they are watching the match, and they have to hope for Fnatic to dominate here.
Yeah, and then we just had a visual representation of the 3Os that have already happened for Method. Method has a total of 5, whereas Team Liquid only has 3 from last season. So that's where that tiebreaker changes up for them. So we're getting ready for it. Of course, as mentioned, Team Liquid coming out here trying to get that victory. Fnatic, we'll see what they're going to put out. Obviously going to put their best foot forward, but don't expect anything too crazy from them. Let's go ahead and check out our schedule here. As we mentioned earlier, we did have an interesting series. If you're looking for a little bit more exotic flavor, if you will. Check out our first series of the day, Diamond Skin and Leftovers. A 3-0 victory for Diamond Skin, but we saw Murky, we saw Butcher, we saw Alarak, saw a lot of crazy heroes. But next, it's Fnatic and Team Liquid. Again, our final match for today, and one's important for TL.
Oh, and of course, Heroes Hearth versus LFM Esports later on today in the last game of North America is going to be Team 12 versus No Tomorrow. Don't forget, we have no matches for you tomorrow until... Unless there is, and I don't think that's possible, a tiebreaker on North American side. There's none for us, I know that, but I think North America also is playing without a tiebreaker.
So no HGC tomorrow. We're going to miss you. Enjoy your Sunday off. We'll be hanging around. We'll see you guys next week for the playoffs, but let's go ahead and get ready for our first series here. Our Battleground number 1, it's going to be BOE, Fnatic with the choice. Team Liquid having first pick in terms of bans. Sky Temple taken away, as well as Roxas Holdout.
Yeah, Fnatic with BOE as a choice now. That's a map where Team Liquid is historically a bit more on the weaker side. Fnatic has a decent track record here. 9 games played. 6 out of those 9 games were successful and ended in their favor. And, of course, bans here again on Sky, and Team Liquid is banning out Braxis, which they have done throughout most of Phase 1.
So Team Liquid, I'm wondering about how much Maiev we're going to get from them today. Probably not here on this Battleground on BOE, unless they're going to go for full team fight type of compositions, but Maiev has been a mainstay for them. It's gotten a little bit more popular for our top teams. We saw a lot from Dignitas in particular this last weekend. And on the other side, how much will we be getting from Fnatic? We've actually had a little bit more Junkrat from them, even first picking it a couple times, where that Genji's starting to fall off a little bit.
I could see Fnatic play with different range damage dealers this time. Just like trying a few things out. Let's say, for example, in the past, not necessarily Battlefield of Eternity, but just throughout the match, since they are already secured in the number 2 spot, as again, we expect them to still make sure that they're trying to win here, not playing as meany as we've seen in the previous series where nothing was on the line. But I would expect Fnatic, for example, to, if the situation arises, to maybe throw out Kel'Thas again. They played with Kel'Thas a couple of times so far, and successfully at that, but I could definitely see them try some of those heroes out. Heroes they had success with in the past, but that are not as much in the meta as they were previously.
Yeah, some heroes that maybe do well in scrims, but you're not quite ready to pull it off in a competitive environment to pull that trigger.
Exactly.
Now would be the time here. Okay, well, Team Liquid is trying their hardest. Let's see how this hero performs. So we'll see if that happens. We have Maiev banned out, Tracer banned out for Fnatic. Make sure that stays away here from Team Liquid.
Liquid, interesting enough, the ones that are banning out Maiev, but also with a very early Hanzo pick now, and of course for Battlefield, he is just fantastic for that. Garrosh taken right away by Fnatic here.
Garrosh and Stukov.
Yep, so pretty much going full Zealots on Team Liquid here. And with Garrosh, they have played 2 games in the past, so it's not really a hero that even after the Western Clash they prioritized highly, but they have 100% win ratio with Garrosh. So Breeze so far has definitely put his foot down when it came to the Garrosh play.
Put his Gorehow down. That's the lore appropriate joke there for you.
And there we go.
Who puts her hand down though is Stukov, because the lurking arm. The ground silenced.
Okay, that was good. The
Just facts.
The Gore Howl was one of those like meh, but following it up with a Stukov, that was impressive. That was really good.
Just trying to deliver here, man. Just trying to live my life out here in the HGC. Stukov coming out from Fnatic though means they are putting their tryhard pants on, because Stukov has been a major contributor to a lot of their victories.
Yes, Smexy on the hero is just still an absolute beast, and if I can find it in my stats here, there we go. 9-2 currently. So.
2.
Pretty solid on the hero, no doubt about that. I mean, we have a couple of players that excel on others even more, but when it comes to Stukov play, this makes it just hands down the best Stukov player in Europe.
Hands down. You nailed that. That was good. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
No.
You did.
I did not. I swear I didn't.
Blaze and Malfurion for Team Liquid, though. A lot of protection, a lot of safety for them already. Give them a decent top laner. They got Hanzo to clear out that Immortal, so looking pretty strong in that regard. Medivh banned out for Fnatic, which is interesting because Medivh is usually one of our first bans, especially on this battleground too, because he can force a lot of issues. And we've made it all the way to the second ban phase before Medivh was banned out.
With bad puns, I think we're going to head soon into Team Liquid is playing solid today territory. Going for the oldies but goldies.
We can pull it out, man.
Medivh ban and Sonya taken out. Okay, Sonya with the single target damage, of course, pretty decent here too. Not really a hero that we see too much on Fnatic's side, on the other hand, but yeah, Medivh banned out, that makes a lot of sense. You have Blaze already on the side of Team Liquid, an additional, I mean, we've seen double support played on this map quite frequently. That's more so on the Zealot side, they really love to do that, but we have seen a bit more Tassadar, just in general. And of course, in this map, if you want to go double support with Hanzo, you can. With Tassadar, you have also a lot of zone control around the Immortals. You can soften the targets up, especially after you stack your level 1 Stormquest. So that's definitely something you can use. For Fnatic, the question with their picks now is, first of all, what's going to be the range damage? What's Quacknick's going to be on? What are we going to see for Mana? Is it going to be a Ling Ming maybe for Mana? That could be happening here.
Give me Thrall.
Off lane,
helpful
exactly.
If Tassadar gets picked up here, at least you have that poke available, especially with the Echo of the Element. So if Tassadar gets chunked, remember that low health pool becomes a liability suddenly.
Great also against Hanzo, but we're seeing Greymane. So going straight into the Quacknick special again, one of the most impactful heroes that we had for Fnatic throughout 2018. They have an 85% win ratio with Greymane, 11 wins and 2 losses. Phoenix, on the other hand, hasn't been played by them at all thus far. With the position that we have them in right now, I would expect Greymane to be played by Quacknick and then Mana on Phoenix. But as we said, we haven't seen Phoenix played by them yet.
Phoenix helping out in that DPS race, but having a Greymane too. Fnatic, if they have the chance and they have the opening, they can burn a Immortal down pretty quickly. Even with Hanzo being on the opposing side, still might be an okay situation for them if they get the head start, that is. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Team Liquid on their side. Will they add to the race here? You mentioned Li Ming, but Team Liquid can go to Li Ming as well here if they would like. She's been one that's popping up a little bit here and there for our teams. And we're still looking for that main tank if Blaze isn't going to be the main tank. Yeah,
I expected more so on Fnatic's side because of the reasons we mentioned earlier, that you would maybe put players on a hero that is not as much in the meta as it was before, but has a bit more of a, like one of those comfort pick situations for a player, and that's of course the case with Li Ming being played here. But with Nuburak now coming back in the meta, Li Ming all of a sudden becomes a better option. Interesting is also to see Zarya here, obviously. So Zarya and Garrosh, that actually sounds pretty scary, to be honest.
Yeah, so Phoenix will be in that top lane, and this means we're going to have a strong 4-man in the bottom lane. Zarya is one of these heroes that if you think you can win the 4-man with your base 3 heroes, you add that on top of it, and you are in a great spot to have those shields coming out constantly. Also, when she gets her energy built up, she actually puts out a decent chunk of damage, so it's going to be helpful for poking down their opponent.
I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out, because we have, as you said, the foreman is going to be important. You have, for Garrosh now, the additional shield. And also, when we're talking Phoenix, it's oftentimes mobility and, in general, just survivability overall that you are focusing on. That's why we have seen double support with Phoenix, why we are now seeing a Zarya in this setup. So it's going to be a super interesting situation for Team Liquid to face that at the bot lane. And I could see them really starting to struggle with what they have. They have good... I mean, they have a couple of really cool tools to lock a target down with, especially, of course, Thrall, Nupurak, a lot of stuns available, the jet propulsion from Blaze. We have Malfurion. If they can get a lockdown, they could deliver a kill here for sure. But outside of that, I think Fnatic is going to be very aggressive with this setup.
And don't forget also, later on, Zarya becomes more of a nuisance because she gets cleansed for not only herself, but her allies as well. The shields at 13 and 16, which will help out for that CC that you just mentioned. So let's go ahead and head into it. Game number 1, BOE. We'll see how Zarya pays off on BOE from Fnatic. And as well, look at Team Liquid, who are looking to secure the victory as they want to make sure they have that number 3 spot as we head into the playoffs.
The game is about to start. Fnatic going up against Team Liquid. An important series for Team Liquid in particular. Fnatic starting to the left though, with Bad Benny on Phoenix, Mena on Zarya. We see Smexy on Stukov, Quacknix as expected on Greymane, and Breeze on Garrosh.
On the right side in the red, Hasuabs on Hanzo, Etherno on Blaze, and Nurak on Thralls, 4 billion on Nubrak, and Splendor to play Malfurion.
Now already a couple really interesting changes here. So Bad Benny on Phoenix, and that showcases once again that you can easily play Phoenix on the off lane, on the side lane. We've been talking about that just this weekend as we've seen it a bit more happening. Thanks to the AoE damage that Phoenix can put out, he can be played in that situation. Didn't quite expect it to be played by Bad Benny here. Could have seen on the offlane maybe a rotation later on, but already a nice adjustment where Mena finds himself this time on Zarya. So curious to see how that's going to go for him.
And moving into the poke build too. He'll be picking up grenades here at level 1, so Demolitionist Expert will be the pickup after hitting 40 enemy heroes. You get the radius increase a little bit. Also, you get to get that recharge rate up. So we'll watch out for that. As poke already pops in, Breeze moves in, gets a nice little ground breaker on Sport Billy, but nothing too aggressive. As Manny is looking to try and build out that energy with the shields.
Now, when we're looking at the history of the two teams going up against each other in HGC 2017 and 2018, then in terms of maps, Fnatic has won 12 times against Team Liquid and only lost 3 maps against them. And the last time they faced off against each other was, of course, in Phase 1, Part 1. And back then, Fnatic took the series without dropping a single map, taking a clean 3-0. Now, for Liquid, it is important to win today, since they are currently in the 3rd position in the standings, and they want to stay there, because that would mean that they will have the best position for the playoffs. But at the same time, they need to take the series, and that's not going to be easy. But an early kill against Breeze is definitely a good start for Team Liquid, taking down Garrosh.
Really aggressive play there from Breeze, trying to shark around, get that anchor, toss away Splendor on the Malfurion, but Greymane was unable to jump in and help out, unsure of how exactly Team Liquid was positioning. And then with the Etherno rotating from the top lane, just too much.
One of the things, of course, is also true that Method is currently watching this series. Method finds themselves in the 4th spot, and if Team Liquid loses today against Fnatic, but only with a loss, it would mean that Method moves forward, takes the number 3 spot in the standings, and only has to win a single game in our stepladder system in the playoffs to qualify for the mid-season Raw. So there's definitely a lot on the line for Team Liquid, not so much for Fnatic, but in the competitive spirit, they are still going to try their best to take this series now. In terms of talents, also important to note that we have Regeneration Master for Nubarak, and he is actually in trouble. A great silence once again being supplied here by Stukov. Smexy with a play after the great toss from Breeze, and that's the end of a Nubarak at that front line.
Yep, taking some turret damage as well as the mini waves got cleared up too. Smart little maneuver there from Fnatic as they find their kill. And comes out at a point in time with them wanting to grab this Merc camp on the left side before the Immortals pop out, having a kill on the bug, make sure that they can rotate over and do that safely.
Thrall, of course, with the Echo of Elements currently, had a chance to also think about going into a Crash Lightning since he finds himself in the 4-man. But since the nerf, Echo of Elements has been the go-to talent to take. Great poke that you have on him, especially, of course, against squishies. Once that you have your first 10 stacks completed, you will have a mana reduction on the Chain Lightning, and after 20, you get access to that second charge, which is so important, especially if you go into Thunderstorm on level 16, so that you have the added poke potential and also can work on the 16 stacks where you add the additional slows and damage.
That cap has seemed to really just pull everyone off of that Crash Lightning. Not being able to stack that continuously has been an issue for a lot of teams. They'd rather have the consistent Echo of the Elements, as just mentioned by Caldor. Now, Fnatic setting up for the defense. right away. Movement speed coming in for Breeze. Is that picked up on level 4 here from, yes, actually Zarya getting that speed barrier, making sure that Garrosh can charge in, and boy does he move fast. 50% increase in movement speed.
Yeah, and Liquid has to be super careful now that Mena has access to that talent, because Breeze is going to be a problem for them. Zoning is already happening, and Greymane, of course, absolutely fantastic on the Immortal together with Phoenix is now trying to supply the damage, whereas Team Liquid still has a bit of a rough time moving into this now. Another quick toss here, but the counter-aggression as Breeze is being attacked into the roots, trying to move away. Eternal is still on the case, but job well done as Team Liquid is taking the halftime show.
But Quack able to take a kill. They pick off Blaze here, who's beat down for 13 seconds. Unfortunate for Breeze, he was actually charging towards Hanzo and looking to throw him, but Sport Billy steps up and eats that engage, allows for Sport Billy to be in his position where he can burrow charge away, and Team Liquid were able to turn that fight around. At the same time, Garrosh has to back up and heal, so Fnatic's going to play the safety game here and attempt to slow down this poke coming in from Team Liquid.
Yeah, Hanzo is just choking, and that's of course the biggest problem they're facing. This is why Greymane is currently splitting from Fnatic's team setup here around the Immortal with the defense and trying to put the damage on himself. But Hazop still has an easy way to poke, and he's doing it continuously. But then he's attempting to stack here on his level 1 talent with Phoenix, heading into the advanced targeting. And also Mene is getting fair numbers in. He's actually about to complete his own stacking process. And Nubarak tossed again, and Quatnix joined in the fight once more. But as he takes a Nubarak down, Phoenix falls to Hazop's Hanzo.
Yeah, Bad Benny got a little bit too greedy on that exchange with Hanzo and not able to warp away. He wanted to stay there because he wanted to make sure that Hazop couldn't burn down the Immortal, but just staying a little bit too long. Another throw, though, from Breeze. They're looking towards Nerok. The sounds in the back line mean Nerok can't escape too easily. A third goes in with a jet propulsion, though, just to make sure Smexy drops that silence. And Fnatic, while biting back here a little bit, is starting to lose out in this race. However, with Greymane being on the back left, it looks like they might be able to take it.
Splendor needs to be careful. He goes down. Malfurion eliminated, and Fnatic also takes at this point the Immortal. They lose Zarya, but still a worthy trade. Can they save Smexy? Yes, they can. And he's coming back in as Breeze is already tossing Quatnix into the fray, and Hazops might be the victim of the Wolf. But thanks to Splendor and the stun, he survives for a few more seconds before finally Smexy takes him out.
Smexy found that silence, getting just enough damage
and
there.
We've talked about Smexy. He is so far the best Zukov player in Europe. 9 wins and 2 losses on the hero. But also, when we're talking about excellent performance on certain characters, let's look towards Hanzo. Team Liquid right now is by far the best team when it comes to playing with Hanzo. They have played 15 games with him. Scratch that, 16. 14 wins, 2 losses. They're sitting at an 88% win ratio whenever Hazops gets his hands onto Hanzo here. So definitely 2 great performances on each side.
Bit of a change up too on his build, speaking of that. Level 1, we have that Redemption coming in with the Scatter Arrow build at 4 and 7. I mean, he's expecting to try and get that race, but he's expecting to get a lot of auto attacks in these fights. So we'll see if he's able to do that, especially now with the next Immortal phase coming around soon. They're going to be a level behind Fnatic here. 9 and 8 in terms of levels. Fnatic looking to grab that level 10.
And of course, by at this point on level 7,
Bottom
we're
lane.
seeing also the pinpoint accuracy taken by Zarya after completing the quest with the Demolitions Expert. And the bot lane, we have seen Phoenix taken out, so that's another good kill for Team Liquid. The offlaner once again gone. And that's a great opportunity for Team Liquid to start pushing. Fnatic is doing the same thing though, and they are running this with Zarya, so they have a lot of push potentially at the top lane. Both teams are just attempting to race the structures down. And if you have a Zarya and a Greymane in your setup, you are shredding through structures.
Yep, you can straight up plant yourself down there, poke where you can with the grenades, and allow for Greymane to go destructively on top of that for it, and they do so. They grab it, and Fnatic gets level 10. Team Liquid gets the turrets on the bottom left, but doesn't get much more, and are still half a level away.
Oh, it's definitely not a great trade for Team Liquid. It worked out in the sense that thanks to them killing Phoenix, at least all the minions they pushed into the towers were not picked up as experience on Fnatic's side. But from a structural point of view, it was definitely a trade down for the red team.
Should be able to get 10 though. They've seen a couple more waves, and that'll be helpful. As they'll soak here in the bottom lane. Mane actually moving forward and getting a little bit more energy on top of that turret. A little cute trick you can do with Zarya. Just be careful if you do it. Oh gosh, another combo from Breeze into a Curse Bullet, into a Silence, and a Nubarak has nothing to do. He gets picked off.
Absolutely fantastic kill against by Fnatic. Quick and easy, using the combo here, which we've seen so often. Garrosh with a quick flip into Stukov's silence, and then with Greymane and his burst damage potential to the bullet, they're taking it out right away.
Have you looked at level 10 for Zarya and Phoenix? Graviton Surge and Planet Cracker.
Okay, we are in for a party here. There we have it. The laser comes out. Benny with a kill. Didn't even need the Graviton Surge, just going straight into the silence. And that was a quick and clean kill once again, just after Anubara came back. A staggered deathly on Team Liquid's side. And Breeze is already working on the next.
Sounds comes out, but Fnatic having the halftime show already in their favor. Breeze looking for another combo, as you just mentioned. And Nubrak stepping up because they have to play defense, but Breeze doing his best here to zone while Quacknix spreads out a little bit more damage on the Immortal.
Yeah, once again, Quacknix is a little bit far out there, but still trying to put the pressure on. But Team Liquid is attempting to jump in. Here comes the arrow, dodged by everybody. Not getting that in, and here at the same time now, Cocoon is out, so is the Bunkers. They're trying to make a play. We have already Earthquake used, and Breeze is going for another flip here into the backline. Silence is in, Breeze in trouble. Where's the shield? Doesn't have it. Mena gets it in, and that allows Breeze to escape.
And Nubrak, stuck in the middle of nowhere, gets picked off and flung off the map. Smexy low on health too. Nurok able to find a chain lightning to get that kill, but Phoenix and crew are still alive. And remember, they have a massive lead on this Immortal, so suddenly Team Liquid, who gets a kill in the team fight, still have to back up and play defense.
Definitely really impressive here. Fnatic once again with that synergy that we've been talking about in the past, and they're showcasing it as we speak. 8 kills against 5. Kill-heavy game as once again Eternal goes in with the jet propulsion. Benny gets saved by Breeze, but Breeze himself now in trouble. Mena wants to give the shield over, but he doesn't have the cooldown, and that's the end of the frontliner. Liquid holding on to the Immortal, and now they can send Hanzo over to do the damage, but Fnatic is close to securing it. If they can sneak someone in, they might still be able to grab it.
Also, I was just shredding though. He's definitely putting Fnatic on a timer. Fnatic trying to step up. Quacknix get caught out on the same side. Could have the Graviton Surge coming out, catching 3 members right away, so that's going to be helpful there. Bad Benny coming over. Gonna start working those area effect damage abilities if he can. Yeah. Thermal getting chucked, but remember, during all of this, Hanzo continues to be on the Immortal, and he is really closing that gap.
Quacknix on the other hand, he wants it now, and he's going in immediately. Here comes Planet Cracker. Finally at the cooldown. He didn't have the cooldown as Zarya was trying to go in, so that was a problem for them. And actually, Fnatic takes it. 497 hit points, so a tiny shield, but they claim the objective.
Dealing 173 damage for every 0.25 seconds, the Planet Cracker helps. 400 shields. That's all they got out of that, but Fnatic able to get the second Immortal.
And the thing here is, Liquid got actually lucky, because once that we had Zarya's ult used by Mena, if Planet Cracker would have been available at that moment and they had a 4 lockdown on 4 heroes, that could have been a disaster for Liquid, so they need to be really careful. Mena was on point with his ult, but the cooldowns didn't quite align there for them. But still, they will be able to break through that wall. And to be honest, that's level 6, that's level 13. So they will be a level ahead, and they will have the extra talent. That might be enough for them to try and get another kill here.
Team Liquid only a level behind, though.
Look at Breeze. He's looking for it already.
Impale to stop him. Earthquake as well as Nurok goes in, drops a wolf on top of Zarya, but she has that cleanse now.
Yeah, Nurok on the way back here, just zoning them out slightly, and the keep is still in play, but Fnatic has that 1 level lead now with level 13 and the extra talent. Double up taken on 13 for Garrosh after the Indomitable on level 4. And now we also have the Unstoppable Competitor, so we have that cleanse on Zarya's side.
And she was able to walk out in the wolf thanks to that. 16, she should be able to get the cleanse for her teammates, allies too, so she'll be able to keep them alive and make sure not getting locked down by Thrall or even a Nubrak when he comes in for the burrow charge. Fnatic taking their talent level and just grab mercenaries to the south. They've opened up the map well. They have both forts talents and damage on top of the keep. And if you look at their side of the map, they have everything up and standing.
Yeah, Fnatic is so far doing really well, especially, of course, from a structural position. They have still access to both of their forts. They lost the fountain to the bot lane, but they can still easily tap up at the top if need be. And they have also their setup now in a perfect play. With the cooldowns ready, they can try and get that wombo combo going by Zarya using the Graviton Surge, and then the Planet Cracker activating, plus the silence, of course, on top of it. So there's a huge threat potential for Liquid, as they just now also pick up the level 13.
Fnatic playing aggressive, checking the Bruiser camp just to make sure whether or not Team Liquid is grabbing it. Team Liquid playing safe here, clearing out the bottom lane, having to deal with the Merc camp that's coming their way. But eventually they should start it, and they finally do. Breeze has set up a potential gank here. Aware that Team Liquid is over here on the top right, but deciding to play it safe as Phoenix peels off and starts a Merc camp to the top.
Yeah, Fnatic is going to take their own camp now. And Phoenix, as he said, he's already working on the top camp, so that is slowing the progress of the Shaman camp down as well. So for Fnatic, definitely a decent position to be in once that Phoenix takes the camp. The problem is the rotation is already headed towards the top, and Phoenix really needs to make sure that he grabs that quickly. He does, just in time. Is able to walk out of this, has of course still the warp available too, so another big plus for him. And Fnatic is already on the Immortal.
Poking it, Team Liquid scurries on down. Phoenix buying some time here by clearing out that top lane. which should allow for Team Liquid to step up a little bit with Hanzo.
Really awkward spot for Liquid. The Cam is pushing through the bot lane, and they're not going to get too much out of the top. They're trying to make an aggressive move towards the Immortal, as Phoenix is still clearing the camp, but eventually they will have to deal with that themselves, and Greymane cleared the bot lane. So Sport Billy is now trying to make his way over a bit, but they need to send someone down. That could be Nura, could be anybody, but at this point Liquid can't afford to do it because Fnatic is making their move for the objective. Liquid is in a really awkward position.
Now they are. Atrus Cure had to be used also on that Immortal stun that came in. So Team Liquid playing safe but spreading out here, trying to make sure they don't get locked down by that Graviton Surge into a combo. But as you mentioned, those Merc camps in both lanes are starting to become an issue.
And they're moving on. They're moving down right now with 2 heroes. Thrall and
halftime show.
They give the halftime show up, exactly. They're giving the halftime up and saying, okay, take it. It's fine. Mane here eating a little bit more energy, moving into the stun, cleansing himself with a personal barrier, and now they have the lead.
Strong shot calling here from Fnatic, but Team Liquid, even on talent tiers, may look for a fight. Sport Billy will be the one to start the initiation with Eternal following up afterwards. Fnatic just dancing around their opponents, buying more time. And
Mane is going to look for the Graviton Surge now, and of course Benny is ready with that Planet Cracker, going for the wombo or combo setup. That's something that they're trying to do here. Top lane is still being pushed out by Phoenix. He gets a bit more lane pressure against Team Liquid. Here comes the throw. The silence is slightly too late though. That would have been a great setup for them, since the stun circles were also out.
Bad Benny also keeping that top lane pushed in. Go ahead and dragoons his way over here. And now sets up for defense once again. Breeze charges forward, getting that movement speed. Earthquake is popped. Breeze is low on health. Big Graviton Surge comes out, only landing 1 on Thrall. Sport Billy dives towards Mexi, and we also have Mane stuck in the cocoon.
Sport Billy barely escapes here, but so does Breeze. Breeze is able to finally move out of this, and once again we're seeing Fnatic being very aggressive around the Immortal, trying to chase it down. The top lane is still pressuring, and keep in mind, the wall at the top lane is gone, and the keep has already taken damage, so Liquid is once again forced to split someone over, and they have to do it soon.
They either fight now or they give up their keep. Nurok goes in.
That keep is going to fall.
Drops down a Wolf. And you're right, big wave already on top of that keep. It's taking some damage now. Fnatic making the power play, poking well. Breeze continues to dance around while Mane is full on energy, so those grenades are starting to hurt.
And once again, they're flipping. Here's the stun. The silence is there. Eternal's in trouble. They're going for Blaze, and Blaze with a bunker just barely. The Planet Cracker melts it down, and Blaze immediately dies. More damage on the Sport Billy himself as the Warlock challenge comes out. The taunt is in, and that's a double kill as both of the frontliners are gone.
And Nurok is being chased down. Bad Benny is looking for that kill. Same time, Hasselhoff attempts to jump over the top left, but Man's gonna keep chasing him. He even drops down the Graviton Surge. Misses out, but doesn't matter because Quagnix moves in with the movement speed and gets that kill. A Planet Cracker used to burn down a bunker. A clever play there.
Yeah, burns down the bunker, and then Blaze, who just barely escaped into it, dies immediately. The top lane also has nearly taken down the keep. Fnatic could move in and drop it whenever they want to. At this point, they want the Immortal more. It's going to walk through the bot lane, so they have an opportunity to take both keeps or try and push through the keep and go for the core if they can secure another kill with Garrosh.
And the thing is, they're 16.
Exactly.
Full level over their opponent.
And it's Fnatic. A great talent for them to have as well, because at this point we're talking again about Alpha Killer, so even more damage output. We have the gain chain as well, so you gain additional untalented shields for nearby opponents. Offensive cadence, the auto attack damage against hit point heavy tanks. Fnatic is going full aggro at this point, and they are definitely going to get the keep. The question is, can they get more? Can they get the core? Can they get a kill here? And if not, are they rotating to the top lane to make sure that both of the keeps are gone on Team Liquid's side?
They can at least get this keep down low. It's already getting chunked too. The Immortal jumping top of it, putting it down to close to half health. Eternal goes in. That's going to be the Earthquake afterwards. Breeze taking a lot of damage here on the front line, but shields on shields coming out. Bunker popped up in as well, but Breeze kites away as Quagnix looks towards Eternal.
And it was a good silence that we saw from Stukov now too. At the same time, Alfurion comes in, pops the Twilight Dream, the keep is gone. Cocoon is about to expire here as they're starting to chase in. They want to go for the core, they're looking for the kills right now. Once more, Breeze attempting to get the stun in, doesn't quite work out. Splendor is split from the rest of the team. Hazorbs is finally back, is trying to do his best, can burn down the Immortal. The core has already taken damage, but it's questionable if Fnatic can really finish them off here.
Breeze is wanting to get a kill.
If they get it, oh my god.
Silence into a Planet Cracker. Team Liquid loses out on Thrall. Fnatic continues to chase forward. Bad Benny bringing out the Plasma Cutter just to get Eternal low on health. Now Eternal is able to escape, so Team Liquid is still in this, but look at their core. It's dropping in health.
Yeah, with that kill against Thrall, now they have a chance to end the game. 56% on the core as we speak, and once again the fight is starting up here. The Chon comes in, the Warlord's challenge. Quagnix survives, and they get the kill against the Nubarak, against Blaze. Quagnix going for the core here, and they are going to finish game number 1. Fnatic taking the lead against Team Liquid.
Zarya helping enable Greymane, Phoenix as well for that Planet Cracker. Fnatic finds a way on BOE to secure a win with a different composition. Great shot calling from them though, really helping out, especially in the middle game when they have the double mercenary camps in both the top lane and the bottom lane. It was all about patience, and they found their ability to get their opponent to peel off a little bit, which gave them the room to get kills.
And really nice damage also around the combo that we had with Garrosh and Phoenix. It wasn't only the setup with Zarya going for her ult and trying to set Phoenix up for the Planet Cracker. Several times we saw just Breeze with a throw, the silence coming out, and Benny delivering the damage with the Planet Cracker here. So a really well-executed combo on their end, and the lead now for Fnatic in this series, which is especially important for Team Liquid and Method. So Method currently watching this game is probably going to be very happy about Fnatic's performance and how serious they take this. Playing not the standard compositions, experimenting a little bit more, but definitely try-harding the comps and saying, okay, this is an opportunity for us to experiment a bit, to put compositions out that we think can work in a setup and that we maybe even could use in certain scenarios at the mid-season brawl.
I mean, this experiment there looks like a major success. I mean, yes, they got the victory too, but the way Phoenix was played there, being a top laner, constantly putting split pusher on his opponent, and having that global ability with the Planet Cracker, being able to come in at any point, is a major threat that Team Liquid had to be ready for. In fact, Team Liquid, I feel like that game could have been a little bit differently if they won that second Immortal phase, because they were close. Remember when they came in the scatter arrows, put it down to low health, but the Planet Cracker coming in with the Greymane, 400 HP. Imagine if they get that instead and take forts instead.
Yeah, there's definitely a good argument to be made for them to come back into this game and maybe even take an experience lead if they can take down structures.
Yeah.
The big advantage for Team Liquid was for Fnatic was how many structures they took down. That's extra experience for them. It usually led to a talent advantage for them, and then they use that to dominate the fights and get a bit of an upper hand in the early Immortal stages. But also the way that they set up the mercenary camps. It was really well done. Of course, the positioning of the Immortals worked in their favor several times now too, but they always forced Team Liquid to rotate away, and that's the moment when they could take 50% of the Immortal, for example. So well done, and as you said, good shot calling on the side of Fnatic too.
Now, something to consider about this, a little bit of a tidbit, is that Blomby, who used to actually play for Team Liquid, is actually